Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Deer Hunter. And this movie came out in 1978, and it stars Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Meryl Streep, and it's a film that is loved by a lot of people. It's considered a classic, and I've seen this movie once before, and I wasn't huge on it. I just didn't really get much from it. And as time went on, it wasn't aging in well in my memory. And I decided I'll revisit the film to see if it gets better. And I was hoping that this time I would get it. I would like it and just be into it. I'm sorry to say this, but I just couldn't get into this movie. I tried really hard, but I can't get into it. I'm sorry. So, if you were looking for a positive review of this movie, you're not going to find it here. I'm just going to say that right now. And there were some things that I liked, which I'll get into right now. There were some song choices that I did enjoy. And I thought that acting was really good. I liked the performances overall. And I wouldn't say these are performances that are like standouts in anyone's careers. Like, I'm not going to remember this movie for specific performances, like some of their best performances ever, if that makes sense. But no one does a bad job, with that being said. And I thought Meryl Streep was the best part of the movie. And she doesn't have a lot of screen time, but when she does, which is about 20 minutes of the movie, I find her character to be the most interesting, and that's why those scenes work for me. As far as the structure of the film and how things are presented in the order that it's in, it's all in chronological order, but the way information is presented, I just hate it. I hated it, and I just wish that it was done differently, because the first hour of this movie is a wedding, and it just feels like it's eating up so much of the runtime. And then you get to the middle of the film, which is the action, and you get that for like 15 minutes, and then you get out of that, and we're still kind of in Vietnam, and then we're back in America. You get the aftermath and how that affected the characters, and yeah, there was nothing here for me. I just did not like the first hour of this movie at all, because it just felt like it was such a waste of time, and it could have just been cut out of the movie entirely. And this movie is really slow. Like, it does not need to be 3 hours long at all. It's not justified even in the slightest. Like, if this movie was an hour and a half, then this movie would be basically a perfect movie for me, because I genuinely feel as though if you cut out half of what's in this movie, like the stuff that I don't care about, that would make the movie so much easier to sit through, because I just couldn't get into anything. And another problem that I had with the movie was I didn't like any of the characters except for Meryl Streep, and everyone else in this movie I just find to be boring and just uninteresting. There's nothing about their characters that makes me feel as though like I should care about them or anything like that. And those are basically my main issues with the movie, is that I don't like the story and I don't like the characters. And that's a huge problem, and this movie has lots of pacing issues because it's 3 hours long for no reason. And when we finally do get into the action of the film, which isn't much, but when we actually do get into Vietnam, I found as though there were so many shots that were just way too close, and I wanted to see the location, give me some wide shots, and you never do. And it's like, why? You could have some beautiful wide shots. Show me the location. It would look beautiful. Like Apocalypse Now. That's an incredible example of something like that, where you get to see the location. And they just don't do that. There wasn't ever a hook for me, and there were no surprises throughout the entire film, and it was a film that did not impact me in pretty much any way. And if anyone's wondering whether or not I think this movie is better or worse from the last time I saw it, I dislike it more this time because it's not a film that I want to rewatch. It's nothing special to me. When I watch a movie, I want it to be either good or funny bad, like entertaining, so bad it's good. Those are the types of movies I want to watch. And anything else is not what I want to see at all. And this is one of those movies that's just not one of those films I want to watch, especially with it being 3 hours long. And I understand why this movie has remained timeless for so many people, and what it was when it first came out. It was kind of controversial, I believe, and I can understand why it's important and why people connect with it and why it was successful and all things like that. Like, I understand why someone would like it. It's just not a movie for me. Like, if I want to watch, like, a war movie or an anti-war movie, there's much better ones, like Paths of Glory or Apocalypse Now come to mind. Like, those are some of my favorites. And they're both shorter than this movie. Well, for Apocalypse Now, depending on which version you watch, but still, not good if you ask me. Is it a movie I would recommend? No, but if you want to check it out, go right ahead, I guess. It's just, I didn't get anything out of it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give The Deer Hunter a 4 out of 10. It used to be a 6, and then as it aged in my head, it lowered down to a 5. And upon rewatching it, it's like, well, it's worse now. So yeah, 4 out of 10. And I'll never be watching this movie again. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of The Deer Hunter, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Oculus. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.